What's
Hey,
up? Hey, Chokes and Consciousness, we back on air.
on air.
We're on air. Listeners, we have the sign back up. Think it's sturdy right now. Okay. I think we're coming into week 2 of 2025 strong.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully it doesn't fall down. We'll see. We'll see how strong it really is.
Hey, we've just got to keep on trying, right? Okay,
Yeah,
and yeah, and as an essence of what we have for you all today, episode 24.
yeah. That sounds awesome.
Hey, we're almost a quarter century into this at
Mhm.
25.
Yeah.
Maybe we should think about a special thing for 25, which we
Oh.
might if
Mm.
if things go according to plan for next week.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Crossing our fingers.
Yeah. We planted the seed. I don't know if we've touched space with.
No, that was a touch base after the seed was already planted
Okay. Okay.
because I had already put 2 dates in there.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh yeah, I had already said if the 10th doesn't work, 17th for sure.
Mhm.
So it's all right that
Yeah.
today doesn't. Yep, that's right. It's okay that today doesn't work because everybody's sick.
Mhm.
Hopefully, everybody's doing what they can to keep themselves healthy. But I know we were talking about that kind of like last week and the week before, just kind of coming off some stuff.
Mhm. Yeah. Are you feeling better this week?
I am finally got through it. Got
Yeah.
some much needed rest because of the hibernation that we had to do.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. I think I woke up Monday or Tuesday morning feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, finally over everything.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the hibernation's been pretty sweet. Snow
Yeah.
days.
Snow days. It was a little too much there at the end, but we're not going to complain. We're going to embrace what we had because it was a much needed sit down for everybody, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I've been off like almost
I
all week.
bet. Embrace it, right?
Mhm.
Um okay, well, Michaela and I are back here. We have some updated news because Michaela and I did some investigation on what our listeners might resonate with your names. I actually didn't do so we'll put an asterisk on this because I need to do like a web check to make sure there's no other fan bases that have this particular name, but or listeners, whatever.
You think we got a
But
fan base?
I think our listeners can be considered like a little fan base.
All right,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Even though they're our friends and family,
Mm-hmm.
they're fans of us as we're fans of them, even if they don't have a podcast, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So, do you want to break the news on what we think are our listeners?
Our new name,
Yeah.
the conscious ones.
Hey.
Or the enlightened ones.
Oh,
Got it
yes.
wrong. My bad.
No. Okay. Yes. No. Yes, and yes. I like the conscious ones too, but the enlightened ones.
Yeah, we got approval for that.
We did. Like when we put it out there, it was like an instant smile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to be called an enlightened one. Like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. And the ultimate test was our girl Nikki. She's always going to give us the blunt truth.
Mm-hmm.
And in fair Nikki fashion, she gave us an analysis before she said yes. We didn't even actually get a yes. We got an analysis that concluded that that was a yes. She liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So, hello, the enlightened ones. Welcome
I like
on
it.
another journey. Yeah, with Chokes and Consciousness. Michaela and I are excited to be back. Here we are, staying consistent in this 2025 season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just chucking along the snow, plowing through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got a ton of snow.
Ton of snow.
My driveway is still kind of wrecked, but it's all right.
I think it's melting a little bit right now. Even though it snowed this morning and that sun's heating up a little bit. So we're here for it. Okay, well, with that said, Michaela and I said we're feeling energized, feeling a lot better than we have over the last couple of weeks. So overall, Michaela, how was this week for you?
This is pretty good. I've been home most of the week, which is fine. I got off of work Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday, and then school's been out 4 out of 5 days this week, so
Woo!
we've been chilling.
A vibe.
Yeah, almost home too much. Like I'm about like towards the end of the week, I was getting a little stir crazy, like just being inside all
Yeah.
week. But getting to go to class has been nice.
Oh, always. That was
Mhm.
I didn't go Monday. I think there was only a few people that went.
Yeah, yeah, I was snowed in Monday.
Same. I mean, I was snowed in or up until class, and I was like, well, and then it took 30 minutes plus just to warm
Yeah,
up the car to get a little section of a sight because it was caked, like ice was caked on it.
just a tiny bit of visibility.
Yeah, just I could see we're going.
Risking
Hmm.
it for the biscuit.
Literally though, because I had to go to the
Uh,
grocery store.
Dang.
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't have a shovel, so we've just been
Dang!
lucky.
Whoa,
Lucky Jeff's truck has 4-wheel drive. He just rides over the snow.
that's an investment
I know
that you all.
we tried to buy one, but they were sold out.
Well, yeah. Now
Yeah,
it's gonna be sold out, but like you know, we might have another snow like this, but you should just go ahead and get one just to have one
I know.
in the garage.
Yeah, you're right. We tried using a normal dirt shovel.
Not it.
Jeff was out there trying to shovel just, tiny little bits at a time.
Hmm. Hey, that worked because you had to break up all the ice because all that ice underneath was what the issue was. It made it like real
Mhm.
heavy and then it was hard because it froze over.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How's your week
Okay.
been?
Same, had a lighter week for the work stuff. Just because people can't get out of their drive, right, or online
Mhm.
appointments. So mostly my work stuff was which is needed is going to be continued today and throughout the weekend was dissertation stuff. So
Yeah,
universe knew what I needed, need to sit down, need to have the time so I can have my pockets, a few hours here, a few hours
mhm.
there, a few hours here.
Dang. So any free time you get, you're probably just typing,
I
right?
am.
Dang.
Typing and looking and
Just
organizing.
typing and look.
Yeah, so that was all that's pretty much what my week was. I
Mhm.
didn't leave same. I was feeling stir crazy by Monday.
Mhm.
I'm typically kind of on the go anyway just cuz I have so much stuff going on all the time. So not going to jujitsu. I left when I was leaving cuz it came earlier than it was supposed to. On Saturday I was there for open mat. And
Nice.
originally they had said that it wasn't going to start snowing and ice and it was sleeting until like that
Mhm.
evening, but it started around 2 when I was getting out anyways. So glad I had ran to the store just to grab a couple more things. I'd already gotten pretty much everything I needed. Glad I did because
Yeah,
everybody's like
I
apocalypse.
know the snow apocalypse.
Let me wipe out everything. I'm just like, for real, no bread at all. We could
Yeah.
people at the most it would have been like, I get the people in the rural areas, but like,
Mhm.
3-4 days worth of stuff.
I
They
know.
they were out here just wiped it like it's gonna be months.
Yeah, there's no eggs, no beef.
Nah, beef was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad I went because I immediately, well, Friday night I had went to Checkers so I can get my stuff for my beef, no bean chili,
No bean
which was
chili.
flame.
Nice.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Oh, I made chili last Friday.
Nice. I think I'm done eating chili for the remainder of the winter, though.
Yeah,
I ate it
you
too much.
burn out.
The 4 straight days, right? Multiple meals, like not just for dinner, right? But it's like dinner or lunch and dinner.
Mhm.
And it was like I was cute over the weekend, had some chili dogs because those are great.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Beef only because hot dogs are already sus. Don't do anything outside of beef. But I had the beef hot dogs. And then once I ran out of the chili dogs, then it was like Fritos, right?
Mhm.
All right. But I'm done eating chili by that point.
I
Yeah.
feel ya. Yeah, I accidentally left my chili out overnight, so I just had it that one
Ooh.
time, and I've been nervous to eat it. So it's just been sitting in the fridge. I probably should just throw it out, but
You should definitely
I
throw
was
that
so
out.
mad. I woke up the next morning. I was so mad. I didn't put my chili away. So I only had it for that one meal.
Yeah, I would have been.
Uh,
I would have seen red. I think had I
yeah,
woken up.
I woke up angry. God damn
I
it.
just want to throw it against the wall, but ah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dang, that is tragic, especially when you like when it was supposed to last multiple
Yeah,
days.
that was supposed to last me through the whole snow apocalypse, but it only lasted that one meal. And now
One bowl. Did you get multiple bowls, or was it just like one
I
bowl?
had 2 bowls.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, but I still made like a crock pot worth of chili, and my chili's good.
yeah, yeah, I would have been
Yeah,
hot about that too.
yeah, it's still on free.
Well, okay. Let's think about it. I'm okay. At this point, maybe like yes, but I'm gonna think like maybe a few days afterwards. I think it still would have been okay. Actually, maybe today would be your last day though. Let's just think about it for a
All
second.
right.
Okay, so you did the crock pot, so it means that you were cooking this for multiple hours, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a plus. You were cooking it for multiple hours. So just crock pot alone, it's going to stay warm longer or warmer
Mm-hmm.
longer, right, than it would had you just made it on the stovetop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're looking good right now. Okay? We're looking good. So when did you not like take it off, like, like unplug it or turn it off, but when did you transfer the rest of the chili to the leftovers before you went to sleep? Like, what was the time in between?
All right. Well, it was the morning after. Like
No, no,
it.
no. Oh, wait. So you didn't even put it in like,
No,
okay.
it was just in the crock pot, but the crock pot was hot at I think like 11:30. That's why I didn't put it up
Okay,
because it
okay.
was too hot.
Okay, that's another plus, honestly. Maybe so it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just like kicking it in a plastic container, giving you all kinds of chemicals in the middle of the night. It was in the crock pot, stayed warm. Realistically, it probably stayed like crock pot warm, like acceptable to eat without having to like maybe heat it back up because it's room temperature. I would
Mm-hmm.
say for maybe at least another like couple hours. So
Yeah.
maybe we're operating at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
All right. And I
Now
woke
here,
up at like 8:30.
okay, so now this is where we just get a little sus though.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, now this is where you just kind of go like, now do I want to risk it?
Mm-hmm.
Because now we're doing like it probably stayed decent before it needed to be transferred before it hit room temperature at like 3:30, 4 a.m., which kind of gives you, I think, about a 2 to 3 hour window
No.
to put it in the fridge to start getting cold.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that it was like if it stayed like a little bit warm, you might be safe. Like, and you would just have to cook it, right? You'd like, I wouldn't advise. So this is what I'm saying. This is a sweet spot. So it's not a total no. We're in the gray. I think that's still a
I
plus.
know.
No, before when you were explaining it to me, I'm like, oh, that's for sure done. But
Mm-hmm.
as we're talking this out, I'm like, okay, I went from like black death, it's over, to like we're a light gray right now.
Yeah, that's why it's in the fridge. Cause like I could eat it, but then also I'm just still mad that I left it out overnight, so I don't know if I want to eat it.
Okay, well,
I
at
guess I
that
could
point,
try.
now you're just not gonna eat it because of resentment versus like the like is it bad or not?
But then it's still in the gray whether or not it's bad.
Right, we're still in the gray, but what I just heard is your assessment was I'm still mad that I
Yeah.
left it out. So you're like, I'm just gonna be stubborn, just not gonna eat it now.
I mean, I wish I want to eat it, but then I don't. What if it's bad? Like, what if it?
You'll get sick.
I guess I could just find out. But
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So this is if you're gonna test it out, here's what I would advise. Don't heat it up in the microwave.
boil it.
Put it,
Okay.
yeah, Yep, put it on the stove top, boil it, and then let it like boil it for a little bit, and then let it just heat up for, and then
Mm-hmm.
simmer for a little while.
All right.
Like recook it for like 30 minutes. I mean, at that point, just wait a couple hours, say a little prayer, and hope for the best.
I might be all right.
At worst, I think will happen, it'll taste funny.
Mm-hmm. All
And then
right.
by then you'll be like, all right, I'm good on this. But I think you might be safe to at least get yourself another bowl out of that hard work that you did.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That's
Ow.
okay.
I bet it's still good, but
Hey, I'm just trying to provide like just a little more comfort in whatever,
mm,
decision you decide to make.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, do that. Do that. I would feel the same though. I would just
Yeah.
thrown it out the next day, but because I was just been so mad about it. It probably still would have been all right, but I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that's how I felt putting it in the fridge. God damn.
Damn. Well, guess you're gonna be having some more chili this winter.
Yeah, I almost made it again. Like we went, I went to the store earlier this week. I almost bought all the same stuff to make it again because I was still mad.
Yeah. Damn. I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
All right, I'll try it. I'll boil it and try it, and I'll let you know.
Do it. Let me know.
If I'm
And take it from
wrecked,
there.
yeah, if I'm wrecked, I'll let you guys know next
Now
week.
don't eat a huge bowl.
Just try it out first.
Just try it out.
All right.
Let it sit for like an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and then be like, okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Okay, well, clearly we had a week of hibernation, chili, too much chili, failed chili, not enough chili. Um, ice feeling stir crazy. And so this has got us thinking about uh snow days, right? Because Michaela was saying she's had a week pretty much of snow days, being
Dang.
Coach Michaela out here, so dealing with the high school kids. So thinking about snow days as an adult versus kid, you know?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of snow days living out in like the rural area when you were a kid?
Yeah, not a ton, but I remember we had some good snowfalls throughout like middle school, maybe high school. We had a few. We had a few good ones. I
Okay.
remember my dad has like equipment that he would like push the snow with and make a big mountain. One year we had so much snow and he just made a huge mountain and we fled down that. That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Do
I'm
a little,
from
little
a really flat town, so we didn't really have
okay,
those.
yeah. So you had to make them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could bet y'all could make like a whole bunch of stuff like little BMX, you know,
Yeah.
little course or something.
Oh, we could have done that. That would have been cool.
Flatten out, rebuild the next week, because why not?
Dang. I didn't even think about doing that when I was a kid. Was that
I mean,
really?
were you in a BMX though?
Not really. No, I was
Mm.
kind of a skateboarder. I would
All
skateboard
right.
flat ground.
Same little skater girl.
Mhm. Yeah, did you do a lot of sledding?
Not a lot of sledding. Like, I mean, I went out and did my thing. It was always one of those like this is a young activity, in my
Mhm.
opinion, right? Because going down is fun. It's like a one and none. I don't want to walk back up. And
Mhm.
like I'm cold, I'm wet, which is
Mhm.
the worst part, right? I'm sweating and I'm wet at the same
Yeah,
time.
that does kind of suck. Your
Yeah.
fingers get cold.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I did it, as a kid, and it was fun. I put that in quote. It was fun because I was like, that's what you did.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Hitting some air in the tube. Woo! And then like bouncing off, going full body, laid out on the snow.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good today.
It does.
I do not want to do that right now.
Not at all. My buddy Steve, shout out, hilarious. He's about that life, envious of that. He hit me up earlier this week and was like, sledding. My response was, That's all you big dog.
Mhm.
With all intent coming from my body, like me, I thought about everything that could go wrong. And that's the problem with adults, right? It was
Mhm.
like I already know if I'm going too fast and I hit a fall wrong, like that could be catastrophic. It's just not the
Mhm.
same when you were a kid, which takes like when we talk about skateboarding. I was a little
Mhm.
skater girl too. X Games out here, Tony Hawk Pro
Yeah.
Skater. Hey, I was, had my little Limp Biscuit going on, fourth and fifth grade. And all it took, I've said this before, I think there was three occurrences that just, it solidified this is over for me.
Mhm.
I'm never gonna be a skater girl after this. It was it was seeing a good friend of mine just, I mean, one of the worst falls I'd ever seen on a hill,
Oh.
on a hill too, where
Mhm.
you see him start to
Oh
shake and
no,
you're
the
like,
speed wobbles.
yeah, you're like, oh, it's coming, and then it was just like, yeah, just habitual tumbling. I mean, yeah, that shook me to the core. Like that was that first question of like, why am I still doing this? Like
Mhm.
that's not what I'm trying to do. And then I think second time it was a one and done. We got the Topeka, got its first little skate park, and I was like, oh, I want to try this because I've been watching all kinds of stuff
Mhm.
on TV. It was literally a one drop in, flat on my back
You drove
over.
in?
I drove.
Dang.
Hey, I thought in my mind it was gonna go a lot differently.
You're picturing like Shaun White, Tony Hawk.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
I even had like my move planned out.
How big was the drop in?
I mean, I think it was probably like maybe it wasn't very big, like maybe
Yeah.
like six,
Dang.
six.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
just,
it
I
was
just.
done. Like we drove it like we drove it like all the way out to North Topeka, and I mean we were like, and I lived on like the west side of Topeka, so it was like a
Mhm.
25-minute drive just to get out there. Like first 5 minutes, I'm done. Take me home. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this anymore. That was done. And then I think the third, like, this solidified everything for me, is when they came out with that. You probably don't remember. They came out with this show called Scarred on MTV. Don't watch it. Don't go back and watch it. You probably find old clips on YouTube. The absolute worst things you want to see, because it was home videos of injuries
Ooh.
and like BMX, skateboard, and what. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that was I was yeah. Because that was like right when Jackass came out too.
Mhm.
So everybody's like, "Oh, let's get back in the skateboard." I was like, no, it's over."
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you'd be all right today, though. Your balance is probably pretty good from jujitsu.
Yeah, but it's the quick move. It's the jerk, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I think I could get back on the skateboard and hit a ollie. You
All
know.
right.
Yeah, I was hit maybe a half a kick flip or some shit.
Dang.
I was out here.
I want to see that.
I had a little BMX bike too, but like we weren't very good on that. Took a couple wipeouts.
Mhm.
I tell you what, you hit some air on a tabletop. You think you're looking good, and the come down isn't
Mhm.
always it.
Yeah.
Just come down, flew right off.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I took some wipeouts.
Mhm. Yeah, I had a bad bike wreck when I was a kid. I was
Ooh.
riding in our circle drive and the cement was wet. And my last turn, I just skidded out and I just tore up my leg.
Ugh.
That
I
was kind
hate
of
my
it for me for biking.
yeah. Dang. I mean, I still didn't deviate. I like riding my bike, but not BMX. But I had a really
Yeah.
bad bike accident too. I mean, one of those probably should have been taken to the hospital.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but it was all bad. Busted. Like, yeah, I had the
Oh,
speed wobbles.
on the bike. Oh,
Yep,
no.
speed wobbles on the bike. Yep, and that's when I was visiting grandma for the weekend, and I was used to my bike that had like you could just like backpedal because I had
Mhm.
gears.
Mhm.
When I went to grandma's, no, she like my uncles, they had the bikes with the brakes when you go backwards. I wasn't used
Mhm.
to that, so then I started speed wobbling, and I just like hit it the back pedal, and it skirt and
Oh,
threw me
no.
threw me over the handlebars. No helmet,
Dang.
terrible. I wasn't safety first, so yeah, I just busted this whole
Oh,
situation. Got my
how old
lips.
were you?
I think I was 7.
Huh?
Yeah, I got my
Dang.
knee. Yeah, I got my. I'm lucky I still got the
Mhm.
smile because yeah, it was had me laid out. Yeah, so now these days when I ride my bike, safety first. Always wear your helmet.
Yeah, know your breaks.
That part very important. But yeah, so that's like activity wise. I when I think about winter stuff, I'm not trying to put my body through. I would love to try snowboarding, but like in a
Mhm.
confined resort or some
Mhm.
shit. I'm not trying to do nothing but ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been to Snow Creek in Missouri?
I haven't.
It's just a tiny little hill you can snowboard down, but it's kind of fun. Like they got a
All
lift
right.
that will take you up to the top.
That's kind of scary.
I mean, a little bit, but it's small, like compared to going to a resort in Colorado. It's really
Yeah.
small.
Do those things like wobble? Like, could you like fall out the front?
Oh, good, yeah. But nobody's going to be leaning.
Oh no, this is the shit I think about. Like mechanics. I'll be like looking down. I'm like, is it gonna like, just like
I'm
throw
gonna
me
have to have
out?
my arm out, like no Deja.
And I'm looking down. I have to check it out. Yeah. Speaking of winter activities, okay. If you could do, because like, okay, winter, so you said you pretty much grew up flatland, had some
Yeah,
snow days, kind of like what you did. Um, Before we get to the sports though, curious, like what activities did you do? Like when you had snow days, like did you like them as a kid opposed
yeah,
to adulthood?
yeah. I'd play in the snow, like build forts, snowman. Me and my siblings like would have snow fights. Like, it was
Nice.
fun. We
I
played.
did I did like a good snowball fight.
Hmm. Yeah, we just made forts and just played like little kids do. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah,
We
nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, we had to use our imaginations, like we were kind of out in the middle of nowhere, didn't really have other kids to play with, so we just did our own thing.
True. No phones, internet.
Mhm. Bad
Yeah, you have to think
internet.
about it. Bad internet, spotty internet.
Hmm.
Yeah, building a fort would have been lit.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I did that with my dog a few years back when we had snow. I think 3 or 4 years ago, we had quite a bit, and there were some cool drifts. And I made a little like cool fort with my dog, and she would like jump in. She was like freaking out, had the zoomies and stuff. But it was fun.
Noise.
I'm like, oh, I haven't done that since I was a kid. It's kind of fun
Hell
to go
yeah.
back and do that.
Yeah. I don't think I ever built one when I was a kid, but I had seen them and was envious of that.
Hmm.
Snowman, I can do snowman.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I hope we have another snowfall so we can make a cool fort.
I mean, I think the snow is okay for the rest of the year. I think it did what it needed. I think it did what it needed to do. And what's up, Roxy?
Yeah, that's Roxy protecting the house.
Yeah, that's right. She said, "Who comes to my queendom out here?"
Mhm.
I hear. Oh, just FYI, did you notice the little logo at the top?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I didn't realize that I was gonna like the people can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know it was going to stay on there. New edition, everybody. Listeners, we got our little logo in the corner on the video.
Dang, Roxy's loud. It's crazy. My mic is picking that up.
I mean, she's got some bass in her voice. Yeah.
Oh, she's howling now.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like everybody getting, is mail delivering today?
I thought they were delivering yesterday.
I think
Surprisingly.
one of the days they aren't supposed to be delivering because the president
Oh,
passed away.
Was that Thursday? Yesterday?
May have been. Thought I
Because
saw some.
Danielle said she had a day off yesterday.
Ah, okay. Maybe that was just today. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Just let her bark it out.
Hey, I get it. Stir crazy. Been at home all day. It's snowing. Maybe I want to be outside.
She'll go to the door, scratch it. I'll open the door. She'll just stare outside. She does that like 10 times a day.
She just wants to see.
I guess. But I'm like, go outside. Every time I open the door, like, go, go. And she just stares outside.
Damn. Get your ass outside. What are you doing? Damn. Okay, so like as an adult, snow day wise, it was a lot of hibernation. I mean, not a lot of, I'm not trying to, like, it's the opposite, right? It's like I'm not trying to go outside as an adult.
Yeah. I know, it's kind of sad. Because the snow's cool, but like, I don't want to go out and get cold. I'd rather be comfy right now.
Exactly. Your joints aching already.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of movies,
Yeah,
shows,
right.
you know, oppose. I guess that's what kids do now too.
Yeah. I know. Do kids play outside now?
I mean, granted, I'll give them this weekend because it was icy and like hella cold. So, but I mean, I've seen kids. I've heard them around being in the snow and stuff. I don't know not as much like when we were kids and stuff.
I don't think I've seen anybody outside playing.
They said it's too cold. Give me my iPad.
Yeah.
I guess this just is where my video game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe, you know what? Give benefit of the doubt. Maybe they were inside reading a book, you know, part of a book club.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I was over it. I was over it. As a kid, would have loved it. Keep it going. Yeah, even though it would have been like at that point, I want to go see my friends and stuff though. Like I don't want to be in the house, but I definitely wasn't going to be wanting to go to school. What's up, Roxy? Roxy pulling up.
She always has to be by my side.
Yeah. Okay. So difference. When I lived up in Minnesota, I remember like driving around the parks and stuff. In Minnesota, it snows like 9 out of the 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
When I was driving around the parks, I was like, at first I was having, you know, didn't live there, hadn't grown up there. And I was like, what are these big old, like, what are these courts in the middle of the park? They weren't courts, they're hockey rinks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a normalized thing, clearly, because that's their sport up there. And, you know, because being here, that's not a normalized hockey is not a normalized thing. Winter sports are not a normalized kind of thing and whatnot. Obviously, things like ice fishing, that's not things that we have here. So if you think about like if you would have grown up or been exposed to winter sports or these kinds of things, like what would you be wanting to get into?
I think hockey would be fun.
I could see you want to do
yeah. I don't know if I can skate though.
That skating's a different beast.
But if I could figure that out, I would play hockey for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Goalie. You could have been goalie.
Not goalie. I'm not getting hit by a puck.
Yeah, I guess that's a lot of eye-hand coordination.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I'd be good at hockey. It'd probably be horrible.
But you'd want to play. You'd just be like, let's fight.
Yeah, I'd be on defense. Like, I would run into people.
Body check them. Yeah, like, who would you be? Did you ever watch The Mighty Ducks?
Maybe. It's been a while.
Dang. Hockey movie. Based in Minnesota.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
It's on Disney if you ever get the urge to watch all those. But yeah, I mean the skating is a little wild. I think that's what would trip me up. I think I could have been a goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean I had cuz I was a goalie when I played soccer.
Nice.
I mean I played all the positions, but goalie was my favorite and I was like decent with that.
Dang. Yeah, that's cool. I hated goalie. Like I didn't Like my hand-eye coordination just sucked for a long time, so I didn't. I wasn't good at catching balls or stopping
Yeah.
anything.
You probably got lit up in dodgeball, huh?
Yes. Yeah, that's not my favorite game because I can't catch. My hands are,
Yeah.
I got stone hands, like I never could catch, and then I can't throw. My aim's really bad. I can dodge balls. That's one thing I could do. I could get out of the way, but
I mean, hey, at least you got the dodge part.
you would have let me up and dodge.
What? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, damn, I would have tore you up for real. Prime target, like you're tall
I
too. Like,
know. Yeah, and I always get hit in the head too. Like every sport. Oh, it's a real thing. Like one day we were walking, I think we were walking Roxy, and some kids were playing like frisbee. I got almost hit in the head with the frisbee.
dang,
Like
it's just
things just
like
come towards me.
it's like a magnet, like it just attracts it or something.
Mhm.
Damn, yeah, hockey wouldn't have been your thing for sure.
Yeah, I think snowboarding would have been fun though. Living near some
Definitely.
mountains, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what? My friend, shout out Kyle, out here getting ready to defend his dissertation. Give him a shout out here at the end of this
Nice.
month. But he's living, so he's up in Minnesota right now, and him and his wife, and I'm like, Jelly, I would love to do that. Curling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
I would imagine that would be pretty fun. Like I'm entertained when I watch it. Yes, that get
It's a funny sport to play, curling.
Yeah, but there's like so much. You ever watched it during the Winter
Yeah,
Olympics? I'd be sitting there
I
just
think
like, hey,
it's
you better
funny.
brush faster. You better get, yeah. And then the one, because you know, like the one who's I don't know what they're called, but the person that like is on their knees and they're the one guiding or
Mhm.
letting go of the stone.
Mhm.
It almost seems like you know what they let it go, and then if the brushers if they don't come correct with the technique, like how pissed would you be? You know what I'm saying? Like I just gave the best stone release of this whole tourney, and y'all just couldn't brush a little more to the left. I don't know, maybe, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the brushers are like, "Ew, that was a
Yeah,
terrible."
yeah. If it's too right or too left, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
God damn
You could have gave us a little more power.
Yeah,
You know.
that's a interesting sport. Like I've never played that, and I
Mm-hmm.
haven't known anybody who's played it before.
That'd be so sweet though. And you can like, well, think because it's like the competition of it too. Because you're not just like you're competing with other teams, so you can like knock their shit off, right? Like I'd be that, like, oh, you thought you got these points, not anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that'd be okay. It's like shuffleboard. Have you played
Mhm.
shuffleboard?
Yeah, that's fun.
Same thing. It's just ice.
Yeah, it just seems funny. Like the whole sport seems funny to me. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm thinking, but imagine. Okay, let's think about this athletic wise. Like, imagine the glutes and like leg strength you have to have in that,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
like back strength to
I didn't think about that.
see. Yeah. Your biceps, like,
I don't know.
and having to skate too.
Yeah.
Well, they wear shoes, kind of like the flat shoes or whatever. But
Mhm. It just seems funny to me. I don't know. I gotta try it out.
yeah, we have to figure that one out.
You like
Okay,
bowling. You like
I
those
do like bowling.
sports.
Dang, you right.
I like I just want to be
Hit some
aggressive.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, what? Okay, this isn't like aggressive towards other people, but I feel like aggressive in nature, kind of like speed. What about bobsledding?
That'd be wild. But that's kind of scary, though.
you like kind of like risky, adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't
You're
know
just
about that one. Yeah, they're going
just
so fast.
mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember how fast, but I know they're booking it.
They're hauling ass.
And what your sled could flip over.
It is what it is.
I feel like there's high risk there.
They got helmets and shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd try that one.
Hmm. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Ooh, thought about this because of the Olympics. This would
Yeah.
be pretty cool. The skiing shooting,
Oh, that'd be wild.
like, cause that's real. That's like honestly, that's just like real life training.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that even like? It's a sport, and we're
Yeah.
really watching this. Like, okay, these are targets, but what kind of targets are we really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And it's training to be like a secret agent or something.
Like James Bond shit.
Yeah. Yeah, who gets into that? I'm just gonna ski and then shoot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like a lot of this stuff, it intrigues me because it's like shit that you're not exposed to depending on where you
Mhm.
come from.
Yeah. Yeah, all those sports are just different because we're from the
Hmm.
Midwest.
Yeah. But I'm also like, that's too cold for me. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I will say, when I lived up in Minnesota and I can't, like, I may have been starting to transition into Minnesota blood because I came down here and I was like, y'all are cold.
Mm. Yeah, you adapted to the Minnesota temps.
I
How
did.
cold would it get down there or up there when you were living there?
Well, I did experience a polar vortex that we just had this
Ooh.
past weekend up there,
Mhm.
2018. And let me tell y'all something. Even the Minnesotians were like, this is a little too much snow for us. You know, I was like, wow, okay, come on.
Dang.
So when we did the polar vortex that week, so they canceled everything because nobody could be outside for literally more than 2 minutes. Like it was,
Ooh.
yeah, it was health risk kind of situation. So
Mhm.
they closed everything down, had to be in the house for 3 days because the wind chill got to like -45.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's crazy. I've never been in cold like that before.
Yeah, like when I was like, that's not
Dang.
real. That's not real. Well, because you think it's like, well, and their cold is different than our cold. Like I would say it
Mhm.
kind of feels warmer up there than it does here in Kansas. And it can be like the same temperature, it just feels a little warmer up in Minnesota.
Mhm.
Um, so like 5 degrees, it is cold, but it would be like it would feel like a -20 here, right? With
Mhm.
that what if it was still 5 degrees. So if it was like it was -2, -10, but then that wind chill that they had come through, that's what made it super dangerous. That got it up to like that -45. So
Mhm.
I did the little boiling water and chuck it in the air trick where it turns instantly into snow.
Dang.
It did.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did you
Z-
record it?
I did. I had to find that video. I
Nice.
did record it. Zoe, she thought she was about it, and like went outside and was like in the snow for I was like, you need to hurry up. Like in about
Mhm.
45 seconds later, she's limping. I'm like, I
Oh.
told you. Yeah, it was real. And then it was like it had been snowing since October. Really, like the first snow was like mid-October. So they have their handy dandies like snow blowers and shit. I mean, they
Mhm.
clear the road. Like that's anything Minnesota's gonna do. They gonna clear that snow. You going to work.
Yeah.
Like that stuff. And the sidewalks, but like all the snow from the sidewalks from the snow blowers, it just created this like basically like just snow wall, like a glue
Dang.
like throughout like where you're walking. So I had like you're walking outside. I'm not even kidding you. There was like snow up to like my shoulders.
Oh, that's crazy.
The bench outside of my apartment, you wouldn't even know it was there, completely covered for at least a month.
I don't know. Somebody's just like running through the snow and it's a bench. That'd be rough.
Yeah. So yeah, it was different, but yeah, that was the coldest it had ever gotten up that way when I was up there.
Hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever been in anything that cold.
Got to dress like you
Like I
learn
think
layers.
mhm, like -20 is probably the coldest it's been here. Maybe with wind chill.
Yeah, that's still pretty cold.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan. I'm ready to move somewhere warm.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, shout out to the people in California.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
geez, like,
Yeah.
it's like what kind of warm? What kind of heat?
Yeah, not California warm.
Yeah, and not Florida either.
Yeah, I know. I was
Like,
just gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. Arizona,
limited.
maybe?
It was that dry
But that's
heat.
desert warm. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
I'll think about
Yeah, marinate on that one.
it.
Okay. So that's winter wonderland out here. Welcome. Officially winter. I'll be happy when you're gone
Mm-hmm.
for the 2025. No, all with all due respect. Appreciate your time here, and you can go ahead and pack up and leave as soon as you want to.
Yeah, all right for my body to feel heat.
That part.
I want my muscles to feel good. I don't want to feel this cold.
Just achy.
Yeah, achy, tight.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. All right. Well, moving forward on that. Michaela and I have a lot to talk to about today. So we have our content that we're going to be talking about, some fights, some upcoming stuff, um, and just local stuff coming up as well. We have our topic of the week, which will be discipline versus motivation. What does that look like? How do Michaela and I deal with that? Continuing our, our progress from last week when we were talking about resetting or reflecting and resetting for 2025, and how do you keep that discipline? What does it look like, especially like coming off of hibernation? And I know it looked differently. I know, even though we stuck to it, it did look a little different,
Mm-hmm.
for us. And then Zen talk will be discipline being the path to freedom. That sounds kind of odd, right? The paradox of that. What do you mean? I want to be free. I want to be able to do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
However, the freedom looks a little better, a little more realistic when you subscribe to that discipline. So, you ready to get into it?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, content wise, by the time this comes out, this fight will have already happened this weekend, but we got Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas number 2 this weekend. Thoughts on that, Michaela?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was number 2.
I didn't either until I re-looked it up earlier today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no. Let me see. Trying to see who else is on that card. Um so yeah, they'll be fighting this weekend. It's a earlier fight. So main card starting at 6.
That'll be good.
So it will. Fight night. It doesn't, I mean, there's not a lot of known names on here, and it doesn't look like a terrible card. I think there's some potential maybe for some decent cards. I'm looking for some other. There's only one other woman's fight on here, women's flyweight fight, and they are on the prelims, and it's Ernesta Karikate and Nicole Kalari.
Yeah.
Have not heard of either of them, but
Yeah,
they
me
are
neither.
on the prelims.
Yeah, I didn't realize Mackenzie Dern's 14-5, and then Amanda Ribas is 13-5. So they got a pretty close record.
Mm-hmm. Amanda Ribas there for a while. Um, she was doing pretty well there for a little. She was on a little fight streak. Let's see, her last fight she lost. So she fought against Thug Rose,
Mm.
lost in decision, and she was supposed to fight Mackenzie. Yeah, okay. So this fight was supposed to happen December 14th
Yeah.
on the Covington Buckley fight. So that's why it got switched to this past weekend and they'll headline. But she only had the one fight last year. And then in 2023, she fought 3 times, won twice. So she her loss is against Lil Macy Barber,
Mm-hmm.
dang KO TKO in 2023. So okay, she's had some stuff canceled, so it's been maybe an off and on couple years for her. So it looks like she's ready to get started back up, maybe
Yeah.
in that win column.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um. Okay.
I forget how small these fighters are. They're only Mackenzie Dern's 5'3" and Amanda's 5'2". Like that's kind
Damn,
of tiny. Yeah.
that is little, and that's one right flyweight 115.
Yeah, 115.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebus has a 3-inch reach advantage. But besides that, they're both 31. Same height, same weight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, they're little. Little pocket size.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, should be a good fight. Next week, let me pull this up. Michaela and I, since we're gonna get this in a week before, we can maybe get a couple predictions in
Yeah.
for UFC 311. Let me pull that up. We have Islam and Armand, can't say either last name, but that will be fight again number 2 for them, a rematch. Islam winning the first fight. This fight coming up January 18th. He will be defending his title for the first time against Armand, but I think this will be his second title defense or third title defense. And then co-main will be Marab versus Umar. Then we also have light heavyweight contenders Yuri and Jamal Hill. Lightweight fight will be Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. And then middleweight fight that's going to get the main card started will be Kevin Holland versus Rainer De Ritter. Looking at the prelims, like we talked about last week, there will be no ladies at all on this card. So actually no, that's a lie. Okay, there's one in the early prelims. Carol Rosa and Eileen Perez. Aileen.
Yeah, I haven't heard of both of them.
Same. Top 3 predictions you want to do?
Sure.
Okay, well, let's work our way up. So, who are you going for? Who you predict for the Yuri Jamal Hill fight?
Yuri.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that as well.
Yuri's 30-5. Dang. Jamal's 12-2.
I mean, yeah, and his 2 losses come from when he got his elbow dislocated. I remember that against Paul Craig, and then obviously when he lost the title, he was fighting for the title against Alex and got knocked out, and he still has not taken that L humbly. So, and Yuri's an interesting one. He'll look terrible and then come out and then win. And he's hard to put away. His technique is kind of strange, but obviously, I mean, he's decent, but he's also coming off of a knockout number 2 from Alex. But I think he's going to pull it out against Jamal. I don't want to see a number 3 title fight, though, against him and Alex.
Yeah. Who do you got? Marab or Umar?
This is an asterisk for me. I'm gonna have to go Umar, but I'm gonna say an asterisk because of the news it's not anywhere in the news now cycles of the blogs, but there was rumblings that he was dealing with some sort of broken arm.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, well, what was training looking like? Kind of situation. I mean, obviously you have to get cleared to fight. So if I didn't hear any kind of whispers of that, hands down would have been Umar. I'm still gonna go Umar, but I'm gonna have an asterisk next to it just because of that.
Yeah. So his arm's not broken?
I guess not.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go Marab just to be different.
All right. I mean, that's not a bad choice.
Yeah, my fight IQ isn't what yours is. I'm just guessing.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it, though. Overanalyzing everything. Don't go with the stats all the time.
Yeah, have you been betting?
Well, yeah. NFL and NBA hasn't really been going great.
Dang.
But fights are coming back up, so I'm gonna have to. I don't know about this card, but this card this weekend, but maybe for 311, put a little something on there.
All right.
Yes. Okay. Well, for the Main event: Islam and Arman. Who are you leaning towards?
I guess Islam.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I don't.
Hey, I mean, he's the champ. It was a close fight the first time that they fought. Um, they both have gotten better. They both look really great a week out from the fight. That's a great choice. Islam's dangerous. I mean, I would be picking Islam, but for the sake of like, let's just keep this one different. I'll put it on Amon. You know, he's
Okay.
a strong contender. I don't think Islam's underestimating him, and maybe we don't fully know how good Arman is.
Yeah. All right. We'll find out.
Yeah. So should be good. That will be the weekend of January 18th on pay-per-view. So we'll see. All right. Did you see this news? You have sticking with UFC still on this. About the UFC releasing footage or audio of the from the O'Malley Marab title fight. O'Malley's coach.
Mm-hmm. Haven't seen that.
So at the time, so during the fight, and this guy's been called out for this before. So Sean O'Malley's coach, Tim Welch, I think his name is, he has this thing in fights where he's like calling, where he's trying to distract basically
Oh, I
the
might have seen that. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, if you're blatantly doing something to distract, like calling out the other fighter's name, trying to, talking to them, that's not something you should be doing as a corner. I just don't think it's professional ethically. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
so
not fair. Like, you're not in the ring.
at all. And so he's been right. People have been saying stuff like this. And so during the championship match between him and Marab, I think it was the first round, Marab stops and starts yelling at the coach
Oh,
to the
shit.
point where Herb Dean, who's officiating, was like, "Hey, like stop doing that." And he was like, "Well, he's talking to me." And then Aljamain, who was in the corner of Marab, he was telling Herb, like, "Hey, he's talking to him. He's talking to him." And then at the time, Herb was like, "Let me do my job." Kind of all this. And so after the fight, they were saying, "Hey, this is what was happening." And then Tim Welch was coming out and saying, "Well, my some of the call outs and stuff for the fights does have Marab's name on it. I don't know why like that's an issue. Show me where it's at in the rule book." And it's so clearly this guy, is just being a tool that's not respected, with anybody, any of the fighters. And so they released audio of like finally of that today of like, yeah, he was still like, "Hey Marab, you want to be patient?" So he was talking to Marab and saying his
Yeah.
name.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. It'd be like a jujitsu match of like somebody, like if Heidi's in your corner, but then like somebody saying your name, telling you
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah, that would be distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's annoying.
Not cool.
Yeah, especially in a fight. Like, okay, you get in here and fight me if you're going to talk shit.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing? And
Mm-hmm.
he was a fighter back in the day, apparently. So you should already know, right? Again, like ethically,
Yeah, that's just
that's
unprofessional for the UFC. Like, come on.
yeah. They need to nip that in the bud real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I bet they make a rule or something about it. Because that
I
shouldn't
would just,
be a thing, and it shouldn't start to be a thing.
yeah. I mean, that definitely should be written somewhere in the rule books of like, fighter distraction, blatant fighter distraction, whatnot will not be tolerated, and your fighter will be disciplined accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm. Well, before we get to the other three things, you have any? I know we were looking up some subspectrum stuff
Yeah, I was trying to figure
before.
out what my absolute division, like what the weight category is for that. Still don't know.
Dang. Okay. So as a reminder, this is Michaela's event, February 1st.
Mm-hmm. In Des Moines, Iowa.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'll find out.
Yeah. And so it's 140 or it's up to 155.
Yeah,
And then there's like
yeah.
and there's two divisions, right?
No, there's multiple divisions for the tournament. 155 or minus 155 is just the one I'm signed up for, but I'm also doing absolute, and I'm not sure what the absolute divisions are.
Yeah.
So I'll figure that out. I was looking earlier, couldn't find it. I'm like, oh, I should probably know just in case, you know, if I have to be under a certain weight, but I'll find out.
Yeah. I
I'll
hear
figure
you.
it out.
Sweet. Are there any local anything coming up?
Yeah, we still January 18th is like the busiest day.
Yep.
Blue Corner's having a grappling event, Crash Combat Championships, they're having an MMA card, and they'll have bare knuckle boxing and some kickboxing on that too. Then Shamrock's having a card that night, and then also Fuji BJJ's going to be in KC that night too, or that day.
Okay. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
do we have people competing
I think
at
maybe Colton? Is Colton going? Somebody's going.
I thought maybe he's just going to watch. I don't know if he's going to compete, but
Or is Randy? I don't know. I saw the message
Randy
in the
might
group
be.
chat.
I did too.
Yeah. Somebody's competing in that. That's kind of a crazy day for KC. That many events going on.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. And at the same time, y'all couldn't have coordinated with one another to just like maybe two of us will have an event this weekend and the other two will have it the next weekend because you're kind of having people like commit to different
Yeah.
sections and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to any of them, but like it'd be cool to go see the grappling event, the pro grappling, and the Crash Combat championship card. Both of those would be cool to see, but
Yeah.
can't do both.
Nope. Not at all. But that's awesome. We
Mhm.
want to get the year started off strong, and they definitely are doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to take you to one of the cars in KC.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
some of them, because it's fun. It's fun going and watch fighting. FAC is going to be at Cable Dahmer Arena on February 8th. That might be a fun one to go check out.
I think is that Super Bowl weekend?
I don't know.
Because that would be on a Saturday, wouldn't it? Not a Sunday?
Mm,
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll see. Yeah, I also got a lot of wrestling coming up in February, so I have to figure out what days I got
Yeah.
available for doing extra stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How's that been going? How are the girls looking this week? All that,
Yeah,
and because they got a lot of meets coming up.
yeah, they got to meet Saturday, and we've only had one practice this week. One legit practice because we've had snow days, so hopefully they're feeling ready. Carl was like, "My girls are always ready."
That's right. That's right. We don't need to get ready because we stay ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully they do all right on Saturday tomorrow.
Okay.
Their meet. I won't be there, and then they got to meet next weekend in Wichita. I won't be there either. One of the girls was like, "We need a female coach there." I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys."
Damn. Hey, you got stuff you got to do.
Yeah,
It is what it
they'll be
is.
all right. They'll be all right with Carl.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Mhm.
Um. Okay. Well, a lot of stuff coming up. Kayla's gonna be busy out here. A lot of stuff coming up in the local arena.
Yeah, I just found out something new. So March 8th, AGF is coming to Kansas City, and AGF's also doing the USA grab qualifiers. What I don't
Yeah.
remember what it's called. USA grappling qualifiers. They're coming to Kansas City for that. So if you
Okay.
want to try out to be on the USA grappling team, they're coming to KC, Dallas, I think Los Angeles, and Orlando. Those are the four places to qualify to try to get on that team. And they're going to Spain this year.
Ooh. Okay.
So if you make that, then you got to compete again at the end of the year. And then if you make the team, then they'll fly you out to Spain to compete for the United States team.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
sounds
pretty
lit.
cool. Yeah. So they're doing that, and they're having the pro grappling matches added
Mhm.
on to their regular tournaments.
Okay.
So AGO stepping it up.
They are majorly. That's what we like to see. Everybody elevating out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all the local stuff coming up. Keep the dates on your calendars, everybody. Check them out. Pin some stuff. Girl gang, we got to get some stuff on the books so we can plan an event as well, maybe a UFC night or
Yeah.
something.
Girl gang. Yeah, that'd be
Girl
fun.
gang, yep. Okay, just some updated news because we talked about this the time before last, but the GFL
Yeah.
um pull that up.
They're
Um
adding a whole lot of athletes.
they are let's see, GFL. Yes. So pulling everything up is making a comeback this year. The Global Fight League. Michaela and I had already talked about kind of like the layout of this, what it is. So just as a quick review, what that is. It's going to be a new fight league that's coming out this year. So top 50 athletes, and this is coming from MMAGFL.com. So their website. The top 50 athletes are draft eligible. So they believe, right, the future of combat sports. It starts here. A few notable names that they have on their roster so far: Tyron Woodley, Fabricio Verdum, Anthony Pettis, Junior Dos Santos, Luke Rockhold, Vanderlei Silva. That one might be a little questionable on that. This is set to start in 13 days, 11 hours, 27 minutes, and 33
Hey.
seconds. As am I speaking right now? They have a countdown going on. You can stay in the know if you want for the GFL draft. You're able to sign up on their website. You can sign up to receive exclusive updates, behind the scene content, and all the latest announcements. Again, all of this coming from their website. This is going to be like a tournament. So basically, like this is hopefully will be super cool. And I'm gonna pull up um what was his name? Kevin Lee had said in regard to the GFL league or GFL because he was talking about this could be really successful or not in regard to maybe the UFC or MMA being seen as like a legit sport, which I thought was kind of interesting that he said that. Um, so let me give a quick update real fast of what the athlete benefits are. So, athletic benefits for this league will be they are trying to do a 50-50 revenue share. So, athletes earn a fair share of the revenue generated from events, ensuring their success is directly linked to the league's success. Comprehensive support, so access to training resources, medical assistance, and promotional support to enhance their careers. Retirement benefits, a structured retirement fund to secure athletes' financial futures after their careers in the ring, insurance coverage, so health and injury insurance, global exposure, opportunity to compete on a world stage, and it's athlete centric model, so a league designed to prioritize athlete well being, safety, and career development. They have, so their season structure, the journey is set to begin. So the GFL draft will start January 24th of this year. And the regular season is set to start April of 2025 with team versus team matchups.
So is the draft building the teams then?
That's what my
Okay.
assumption, like, yeah, reading this is when they start to do that. So it looks like the regular season, once that starts, then they're going to have 6 cities. And then those 6 cities are broken down into, they compete, and then that's broken down into semifinals, which will be seed 1 through 4. They will compete, and then there's will be finalists 1 and 2, and then there will be a GFL champion. From that, the way that they score the team's total points, so every fight counts. When they do the draft, they pick all the fighters, the teams who are going to be on the team. So depending on what happens within those matches is going to determine how those teams move forward. So there's going to be 4 points for a finish, 3 points for a decision win, 2 points for a draw, one decision or 1 point for a decision loss, and 0 points for a finish loss. So you get knocked out. That's not gonna go well. It looks like division wise, they have for the men's division, so they have they have women and men's division. Men's division, they're gonna have heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, and bantamweight. For the women's division, they have featherweight, bantamweight, flyweight, strawweight, and atomweight. And so far, they have 6 fighters signed. I know that they were entertaining Paige Van Zant.
Yeah.
Eye roll. She can't land anywhere. It was right. It was bare knuckle. That didn't work. Then it was power slap.
Yeah.
That didn't work. Now here we are.
Yeah, that's they need a lot of fighters. They need to sign a lot more women to cover those teams. That's kind of crazy.
Okay, hold on. I just lied. That's my bad. Okay, sorry. Let me redo, edit. Okay, so there's actually 6 women representing the featherweight division. That's just what I could see. I didn't click on the other tab. So we have 6 fighters in the featherweight division. We have 6 women. No, we have. Oh, that's a big division. We've got 14 in the bantamweight division. Who are signed. In the flyweight division, we've got 8, and that's where Paige Van Zant is going to be in the flyweight division. In the strawweight division, whoa, another big one. 9, 12, 15. We got 17. And atom weight, there's only 2. So there's a lot of athletes, and that's just women.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. So they're gonna draft these athletes to make a team. So the athletes are not gonna have any say on who's on their team. So
I mean, that's
what if
yeah,
you're paired up with some fighters and you're like, God damn it, these girls suck.
Hey, it's a team right now. Man, that is interesting. That's a really good question because yeah, like how does that begin?
And are they making multiple teams? So they're drafting like how I just wonder how this works. Like are they taking other teams from other like it's just all these athletes that are in the GFL, right? Like they're not competing against other teams.
Right.
So
yeah,
finding 6 fighters for each. Like how many teams are they going to have per division? I think that's what I'm wondering.
That's a great question. All this I'm trying to look it up now to see what I can find. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because there's a mix between old and retired UFC stars, like Kevin Lee. He just signed, and he's had like multiple knee repairs and whatnot. Dang. Okay, we got Renan Barao, former UFC champion. Alexander Gustafsson is going to be there as well. Yeah, it just says tournaments. It'll be on an app. The league will stream on an app. That's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So the GFL has not confirmed whether they will follow a subscription or pay-per-view model. Mm-hmm. So getting this off of MSN.com, they are saying as of now, the Global Fight League has not publicly disclosed specific details regarding its broadcast or streaming partnerships. And so that's as of December that they had said that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get more information about how, like, what does the draft look like? Do the fighters have a say? Is it do they just put the names in a hat? Like, what if you fight your Yeah, like what if you fight your friend or something?
Yeah.
It says, yeah, leading up to first ever global fight league draft. So who are the captains? Do they have captains?
Yeah, he's picking the teams. Yeah, I want to know. It sounds fun. Sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
I really like the layout. Um, I was trying to find um the news on what Kevin Lee had said about um the Global Fight League that I thought was really interesting, but it doesn't look like I can.
I just signed up for their email.
Okay.
So hopefully I get some info. I'll be in the know.
Be in the know. Oh no, that's not good for them. Apparently Tony Ferguson is like maybe in the talks. Again, I'm here for
Really?
the concept. Yeah, and I get they got to start somewhere, but like Tony Ferguson needs to retire and needs to stay retired
Mm-hmm.
cuz yeah, no. That's not it at all. Okay, so I'm finding this. Okay, so I didn't see it on ESPN, but on bloodyelbow.com, Kevin Lee. So he said that it's not really a sport. Ex UFC fighter makes bold statement on MMA following reported new promotion payouts. So Kevin Lee says GFL success / failure will determine if MMA is really a sport. And so through bloodyelbow.com, they report that he said that, quote, if it works, then effing fantastic. But even if it doesn't work, and if doing a 50-50 split with the fighters and promotion doesn't work, and that's what we see here, then it's going to give transparency into what this sport actually is and if it's an actual sport. If you can only pay guys 18% off the back end, and that's the only thing that works in this sport, well, it's not really a sport. That is more of a bunch of poor guys fighting for billionaires chump change. Damn.
Yeah.
Dang, he said Lee claimed that under the UFC model, the top athletes from around the world are simply competing for tips, since 18% is what you pay your waitress at Applebee's. Dang.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope the GFL works. Like, I hope that does work. So it
Yeah,
improves everything. So the
same.
UFC's like, oh, yeah, I guess we could pay our fighters a little more.
Yep, can do it, should do it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's crazy. It's so wild to
Uh,
me that football players are getting paid millions. You know, basketball players getting paid millions. Like,
College coaches
yeah,
are getting paid millions.
college athletes are
Call
getting,
million now.
yeah,
Those new deals. Yep.
yeah. Oh, that's so crazy. But fighters are getting 18%. And that's such a harder sport than football.
Mm-hmm. You right. Absolutely right. It's like,
Yeah.
dang.
Football makes me mad. I'm like, they're getting paid $1 million to catch a ball, to be good at catching balls. Like, such a wild thing.
Catching balls for millions.
Mhm.
Dunking.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm entertained.
Yeah,
Millions of
same.
dollars worth. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a wild thing that, like, that's your career. That's what you're good at. Like, you can catch balls, you can run, you can
True.
kick.
Can hit, I guess. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, everybody making money out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the GFL sounds legit. I'm excited to see what happens as this progresses. We'll keep you all updated on what that looks like moving forward.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm excited to see what it turns into. We'll have to watch the draft.
Got it. 13 days countdown. So like, okay, here in less than a couple weeks, we're gonna see who's getting drafted. Um, okay, so just super quick, I'm pulling up um just as a quick announcement, keeping it MMA, all that boxing, fighting, relevant. So looks like the Saudi Arabians and the UFC and TKO, they are planning on launching a new boxing league. So getting this off of sportspro.com, Saudi Arabia is close to creating a boxing league with TKO Group Holdings, the Endeavor owned company that runs UFC and the World Wrestling Entertainment, so WWE. So the deal would reportedly see Saudi events company Sela, which is owned by the public investment fund PIF, um, pump money into new competition featuring up and coming boxers signed exclusively to the league. So Saudi Arabia coming out here, y'all. I predicted this last year. I said Saudi Arabia is coming for the sports. It started with golf. They've really found their lane and their revenue with boxing and MMA. It's gonna be jujitsu too and wrestling. And so at some point, get ready for the fight times and stuff like that not to make sense, because we're not going to be the target audience anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the like original boxing league? Like the one that like boxers fight out of today? What is that? Like is there a boxing league?
I mean, they have like multiple promotions. That's, I don't know. Um uh Let me see. American Boxing Association. So, yeah, American Boxing Championship, the official sanctioning body of the USA,
Okay, so there's
professional
multiple.
boxing. And then there's like a United States Boxing League, but that's for like the state of Colorado. National Collegiate Boxing Association talks obviously like college boxing, but it seems like I've heard of WBO, so the World Boxing Organization.
Yeah, I didn't realize there's a bunch of them. It's
I
not
mean,
like UFC where there's just like one organization having fights.
yeah, UFC out here monopolizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, new
A
stuff
lot of stuff
happening.
coming up. A lot of differences. We'll see how that scheme goes. No. Got anything else to add on that content? Fight wise, news?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on to our topic of the week
Yeah,
here. Discipline versus motivation.
yeah,
I've gotten this question.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily this question of discipline versus motivation question mark, but like how do you stay motivated is a
Mm.
big question I usually get all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's hard to figure out. It's hard to. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't know the difference between discipline versus motivation.
Absolutely. 100% that. Um, it's like when you think about motivation, so like here, like motivation being temporary, discipline is what can sustain you when that motivation starts to decline. I always kind of say, you got to be moving, motion before motivation kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. If I was only motivated, or, if I only went to jujitsu or the gym when I was motivated, I'm not going most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Motivation is very temporary. At least for me, it's like I get motivated when I make artwork, and
Mm-hmm.
that motivation only lasts for so long, and then it wears off, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Yeah. Well, because you're motivated, because that's like you're inspired to do art for that like expression, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes sense on like needing, because I think when people, when they say like motivation, they're more so kind of associating it to, I have to be some sort of energy level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some of that excitement. Obviously, you love
Yeah.
doing art, so when you're doing art, you're typically excited or inspired to do it versus kind of like the mundane kind
Mm-hmm.
of aspect of it.
Yeah.
um like versus the discipline when we're talking about that, and I think people get that kind of mixed up, of like when they automatically think discipline, they think super rigid
Mm-hmm.
military kind of base. That seems completely off-putting to me. I'm going to double down on not being disciplined because, that's what it is. But that's what does sustain you for longevity.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I used to feel the same way. Like with discipline, like, I gotta go 100%, go all in. But I've realized now it's not about going all in. It's about like not taking your time, but being consistent day to day with your discipline to sustain that, because I
Hmm.
think a lot of people are just like, oh, I'm going to wake up at 6 in the morning and have a 2 hour workout and do that every day. But like, that's not, you can't do that. You got to be consistent. And to be consistent, you got to do what you can do, you
Yep.
know, or do what your body's able to do.
Exactly. You're not going to wake up at 100% like full bar every day.
Mhm.
It's just not going to happen. Like I might have my 30% today and that's okay. It doesn't mean I have 100% and then I'm just giving 30%. It's like I got 30%, I'm giving 30% today. So that might
Mhm.
just look differently, but still being consistent and showing up is extremely important.
Yeah, after the last tournament in Tulsa, we were eating dinner and Rich was like, discipline's the shit. I'm like, oh, that's so funny. Like that, you're so right. Like, and I think for him, like like he didn't have discipline, and then he was able to find it, and now he's like, discipline's the shit. I'm like, oh, that's so cool because he's right. Like people that don't have discipline don't necessarily understand how helpful it is to have it.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
But you feel better, like if you do have it and you are able to hold yourself to that standard, like it feels good to get something done when you weren't feeling motivated to do it.
And you affirm to your body that we can do hard shit.
Mhm. Yeah, we can do it.
Yes, we can. Um, and yeah, because like I would imagine, because like for Rich too, because it was like a lot of discipline of like training, you're eating a different way, for a certain amount of time, and then not to necessarily go off the rails, but then when you treat yourself or you do something, and like it just feels it's so much more rewarding.
Mhm.
Because one, when you're like going through that sacrifice, you appreciate it. Honestly, it's like I don't practice this. This is not my religion at all, but from friends that I know who like they do Ramadan, so there's fasting and
Mhm.
whatnot, like for them, like the way they've explained it to me, right? That's part of that of like being disciplined of like going through fasting, all day. And then like there's this appreciation when you gather, and you're sharing a meal with
Yeah,
everybody, and that.
yeah. Kind of like training for a tournament too. Like just putting in so much work and effort, and then when it's over, you're just feeling proud.
Mm-hmm. Because you did it. You had to put the work in.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start being besties with discipline. I know it's like when we talk about, and it's you have to think about all of it in its totality, not just what you're thinking about, but your body, mind, spirit, all of that. One of the things I had gotten this week was, and I get it a lot when people talk about just because you new year, new me, trying to get
Mhm.
snatched up or whatever you're trying to do. I'm here for it. And at the same time, when you're at the gym, there's an influx usually at the beginning of the year. People are super goal oriented, resolution oriented base. And then at about that third week mark, people start to kind of decline, go back into their old patterns, what's comfortable for them.
Mhm.
And then they get down on themselves and they start judging and critiquing themselves. And then that's not helpful because then that causes people to even double. Now you're uncomfortable because I'm talking shit on myself. So to make me feel comfortable, I'm going to double down in the stuff that's making me feel uncomfortable. Kind of
Mhm.
this weird paradox kind of thing. And so a lot of people are like, I couldn't find the motivation, or like mentally I feel stuck. And I'm like, that's the issue,
Mhm.
because you're trying to like think your way through something. Um, but like you're trying to think your way through something, but at the end of the day, that's not going to get you there. Your body physiologically is literally going to have to get up, but it doesn't not work mentally. It's just like, what are you saying to yourself to either throw logs in this fire? Are you affirming these critiques and negativity, or are you trying to challenge them as they are coming up and affirming, combating them with something more motivating and positive.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I've been there, like after college, I didn't work out for like a year and a half.
Yeah, same.
And it was hard getting back to it, getting that discipline to go every day. But I definitely, like, I felt that. Like, I was hard on myself, like, oh, I just need to go work out, but I don't
Yep.
want to.
Yep, exactly that. I was like, this is not it at all. Um, but I think, if you go on to the other side of that too, is being flexible with yourself, because if you're too rigid in that flexibility, or if you're like, because I think that's common for athletes too.
Mhm.
Like if you've been in something for so long, because I did the exact same thing after I was done throwing. One, I didn't have the natural routine that I was used to, so it was
Yeah,
kind of
no.
up to me to get back into that. But my workouts weren't what they looked like.
Mhm.
But it was literally like a year and a half or so until I actually got back into doing what I was doing. Because not that I was kind of like I was you're an athlete, you're, especially collegiate athlete. You're doing that for like 4 or 5 years, and this is
Mhm.
what you're doing. I want to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's needed to be able to find like your own discipline to create your own routine and do things on your own instead of doing it for a coach or for your team. Like it's just a transition that I feel like every athlete has to make, every college athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard to make yourself like to work out for you instead of like doing stuff that was already pre-planned for you?
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. And I had to get to a point where I got to a point stress wise and physiologically to a point where I was like, I've never been in this space before and I don't want to feel that again. To
Mhm.
where then it kind of snapped me back into doing this for myself, because you graduate, then you're like adulting, so you're full-time work, and then like stress is coming up. So now
Mhm.
I'm just doing stuff that is completely opposite of what I would be doing. And so it's just building up, building up, building up. And then now I'm trying to do kickball over the summer and haven't done any kind of activity, and almost tearing my knee up,
Okay.
off of the first run, because I'm not used to that having that weight on me, or not being able to move like I used to, or breathe in a certain way. I had to feel that before, and then I was like, oh yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Mhm. Yeah. I think I kind of had a wake up call too because I tried playing football after college and I definitely was out of shape. I remember like telling myself like I need to run because I need to be in running shape for football. So I got on the treadmill and I was breathing so hard. It's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this ain't good. I gotta fix this. And I think that's what kind of got me back in. But
Yeah.
I was trying to do too much too. I was like, I'm out of shape. I need to slow it down and go at an easy pace so I can keep coming instead of burning myself out in the first day.
Yep. Exactly. I hear you on that. It's hard,
Yeah.
right? It's like, and so that's the part of it, is like it's not going to feel comfortable when you get into it. It's not going to feel comfortable all the time, but the consistency is key. Um and so, question of like, so like what really drives you when it comes to like discipline versus motivation? Like what drives your discipline for you?
I think just having goals, like knowing I want to be in a certain place. I think that's really what keeps me going because I want to be the best I can be. And the
Mhm.
only way to get that is to be training as much as I can or lifting or whatever my goals are. Like I gotta, like those are kind of what drive me.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because without, like, if I wasn't doing jujitsu, I'd probably just be lifting just to lift, but I wouldn't have any like direction. So I'd probably just be lifting for fun. I don't know. I probably want to be doing as much because I don't have a direction or a goal. So I think
Mhm.
that's what drives me is having something to that I'm like, I need to get that. I need to reach this someday.
Very goal oriented.
Yeah. But I think it's an athlete thing too. Like that's just
Yeah.
what I've been doing most of my life.
Mm-hmm. Because it's something to look forward to.
Mhm. Yeah. What about you? Are you goal oriented or as goal oriented?
Um, It's like a yes and no. Um, I am, but I'm not. Like I'm more of like a progression kind of person. Like it was nice, like for track and field, like I'd have like goals or whatever. Like okay, I wouldn't necessarily say I want to hit. I'm not hitting this weight, but I'm progressing and oh, I did this. This is what this looked like this week. This is what this looks like next week. I'm more of a person that likes to see that go up versus saying like
Yeah.
this is what I want to do and like at this particular time. I mean, I'll have my dates right and I'll plan stuff, but I am more of kind of like the progression kind of person that's more motivating to me. Um I kind of thrive on I know what I'm unwilling to do. I guess that's what drives me, whether it be, and sometimes you have to find your that discipline everywhere, like whether it was like when I first started my undergrad and like I was napping and during my classes and stuff, and obviously like I wanted to maintain eligibility, but then when I found out how much those naps were costing me during class, I was like, oh, we're gonna wrap that up real quick. So obviously like getting my degree, like, and I wasn't the best academic student and whatnot, but part of what drove me to kind of have that discipline to stay on course. And even though it was annoying and whatnot, was like, I wanted to continue being eligible for track, right? I didn't want to disappoint my grandma. That's a big thing. I didn't want to pay money back that I'm getting loans for these particular things. So whether it's not saying I'm like consequence based, like a fear based kind of things, but those things have value to me. So it's more of a positive kind of way of like not motivating, but it's like I know what I don't want. If I can prevent X, Y, and Z from happening, or and it's on me, that's what I'm gonna do. Same thing with the working out. Like I said, I had to get to a point of where my body did not feel like I wanted it to feel, and understanding I was doing certain things that was not contributing to how I wanted to feel. So that's what drives me to just show up every day.
Yeah. Dang. Different ways of using discipline.
Yeah, everybody has their different stuff. There's not a black or white kind of thing. That's why we say like one size does not fit all. You have to find whatever that discipline looks like for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Because I am very just goal oriented, and I don't know, like I didn't realize that till now. Till talking
Yeah.
about it, I'm like, yeah, I do
Mhm.
just set certain dates, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this to be ready for this.
I like I said, they're not
Yeah,
like
it
that's that
works.
you're yep, leveling up. I guess like I said, I'm somewhat of the same, but it's like I'm more of like an overview kind of thing. Like if I'm saying
Mhm.
I want to get better at guitar, right? I'm not saying I want to play this song and then I'm going to move on to the next song. It'll be like I want to move towards getting better at my scales or this song,
Yeah.
and then I won't check it off like, oh, I know how to play this. Like I'll keep playing it and I'll
Mhm.
just notice if I'm getting better or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Progression is nice. Like it is. Like I think that's what helps me to obtain my goals. Is noticing the progression. Like that's kind of what it's a little motivating. Like to know that you're making progress and to be able to see that.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and so that leads to, being a time where that motivation maybe failed you, you know? Like, has there been a time where that motivation at times has failed you if you can think off the top?
Yeah, I think like right after I got out of college, I was trying to use motivation to go work out,
Mm-hmm.
and that wasn't working. Not because I was so in my head, and like I'd be feeling it, like I'd be feeling good one day, and then the next day I was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, and
Not it.
yeah, and that's I don't know that it doesn't work. Like you
Mm-mm.
can't, it just that doesn't work out, and it doesn't work for me. But like that and like artwork too, like I'll feel really motivated, and then it does go away because motivation is kind of it's a feeling rather than discipline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what has it failed you? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah, for sure. I think when if there's a reliance on motivation, that's where it's failed me. If I'm relying on motivation to solely um grant me the will to open up my laptop to just be reading and looking at stuff all the time, right, with my dissertation, I'm just not going to do that, right? I think motivation has failed me in terms of expectations, unrealistic expectations, maybe that I've placed on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I didn't meet said expectations because I had unrealistic expectations for said motivation, behaviorally I didn't meet said goal. And then, like I said, there's like that inner critic,
Yeah.
judgment wise.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to what we talked about last week, right? Letting go of stuff that doesn't serve you. Don't disrespect yourself. In a sense, that's disrespecting myself, being super critical and setting myself up for something that realistically is just not attainable.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
Yeah.
Our,
Insight.
I know our week-to-week conversations are leading into each other.
leading up. So, I think, and I mean, like we had this on the Zen talk, but bringing that to continuing on for the topic of the week, I think being overly attached to outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely.
Yeah, and that's like my goal-oriented thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, the outcome's going to be long down the road, and sometimes it's hard to keep that, just the motivation and discipline of keep going.
Yep. I think it can cheat you from acknowledging the work that you have put in. If you It puts you in
Mm-hmm.
that black and white, right? If like, oh, if I didn't accomplish said goal, then like all of this work that I've put in is null and void, when that's just not
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, and I do that sometimes. I'm like, I'm not where I want to be, and then that really gets to me. But then I'm like, nah, I need to take a step back and realize the progression I've made, and not this failed goal. Not that the goal has failed, but it's extended.
All or nothing. Yep.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I mean, it's hard, everybody. Like, we're not saying these things they're easy at all. Just saying you have to find your way. And then, like, I think some things maybe that helps, reading off my little list here, scheduling non-negotiables. Like, this is what I'm doing at this particular time when I do it. Again, building routine, building consistency, and not expecting yourself to be 100% all the time. I'm not even 60% all the time when I go jiu-jitsu on the days, but those are just the days that I go.
Mm-hmm.
Unless some
Yeah.
stuff happens, right? That's just what I do.
Yeah. Establishing that habit, like forcing
Mm-hmm.
yourself to do something for, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to
About
really
3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then once you hit that 3 week mark, then it's natural. Then you're doing something because of it, because it's a habit, rather than you're forcing yourself to do something.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm. Um, Not being too rigid, like I said before, like have some
Yeah.
flexibility in your routine, be kind to yourself, and you can keep yourself accountable. It's not exclusive. It's like not an and or kind of thing.
Yeah. It's that balance.
Mm-hmm. And then understanding consistency over perfectionism.
That's a good one.
There's gray is a great color. Michaela's like, no. No gray.
We're just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I got. You got any more on that for the discipline versus motivation topic?
No, we covered quite a bit.
Okay. Well, we're continuing to
Oh,
do updates.
I forgot my drum for the Zen talk.
No, we got it out now. Bring it out now. We're gonna do we have a edition that we have going into Zen Talk. Michaela, hit the people with it.
Yeah.
Dang. I like it. That was a nice
Thanks.
little jingle. Okay.
Thanks.
Our enlightened ones, are you feeling zen now? We've talked about a lot of stuff. It's time to bring it down to the ending of today's session, like we always love to do, our patented Zen Talk, which will be discipline being the path to freedom. Whew.
Yeah.
What's your first thoughts when I say that?
I mean, I like it because I feel like it's hard to understand unless you've been through it, you know? Knowing that if you hold yourself accountable and if you are disciplined, that it does give you a sense of freedom afterwards. But you
Mm-hmm.
only feel that if you're disciplined and do the things that you're telling yourself you need to do. But
That's right.
yeah, it's I don't know. Like I don't know if you haven't been there, if you would understand that.
Yeah, 1000% that. You like, what does a struggle look like for you? You know, what can I do that's not easy, that does not come easy to me? What is a challenge? Because, and being kind to yourself, but let me do something that I'm not comfortable with, I'm not good at. Let me read something, a genre, right, that I normally don't read. Let me I like to play basketball all the time. Let me try some soccer or something. Like doing something that does not come easy, maybe something you'll be a little embarrassed about.
Mm-hmm.
But that goes into that being like building that discipline, because one, you're learning to be okay with failure and that not being the end of the world, and that only strengthens your confidence in self to be able to get through challenges and struggles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just being okay with being uncomfortable and realizing like that's part of growth. Like you have to be uncomfortable to try new things and to be able to build. Like it's just something you got to go through. And once you go through it, you understand it, and then new things don't seem as new. Or you become more comfortable within yourself too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're
And
free. And then you can do whatever you want. Like my sister after a tournament, she's like, "Oh, I feel like I can do anything now."
super awesome, right? And because that's a lot of discipline, as you're conquering like some like anxiety, fear going into something you've never done before, and you prove to yourself like even if it didn't go well, it goes well
Mm-hmm.
because you did the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then once you establish that, like building, you can build off of that so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
awesome because then you realize, like, oh, that wasn't that bad. I can do something bigger or something even more different. And then once you conquer that, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad either. I can do something else. And it's just a progression that takes you further and further down the road. But it's awesome.
Longevity. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Motivation is temporary. Discipline is sustainability.
Yeah.
That's what we like. So, um, yeah. So also what I saw here, and we had our snow day. We had been hibernated up, like still finding stillness in motion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because things are busy. Things are always going to be busy. There's always going to be noise and things around. When can you find those daily, not weekly or monthly, those daily pockets of stillness in motion to help reaffirm and shine light on the achievements and the little things, the progressions that you are doing on the daily? Like, what did you say to yourself? What nice thing did you say to yourself today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of that. Or, like, I don't think about doing that. But
I,
just
I,
taking time out of your day to appreciate the things that you have done or done well or whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Show yourself some love. I struggle with that too, right? Things get busy. I'm like, dang, when's the last time I've done that, right?
Mm,
It's just it's too easy for us to do it. It's simple.
I know. Yeah. All it takes is like a minute out of your day to be like, I did this well. I'm feeling pretty good about this. But yeah,
Yep.
would you say it's kind of like a form of meditation to sit with your thoughts and just reflect? I guess a
Oh,
form of reflection.
100%. You got to
Yeah.
find that the mindfulness time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to be better about that.
I don't do great. I even have I still have the mindfulness app.
Mm-hmm. Are you using it? Are you meditating?
I haven't been lately.
Dang.
Getting back into it, but yeah, we took a little hiatus there for a second.
Mhm. Yeah, I should start doing that too.
Even if it's 2 minutes, 2 minutes a day. Just be with you for 2 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like if we were to do that, we would unlock something in our brains. We'd be super enlightened.
Third eye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to
So
find them.
enlightened ones, find your stillness. Find your stillness out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard when life's chaotic. You're constantly busy. It's kind of hard to take that deep breath and just sit back. Like, all right,
Yep.
gonna be still.
Just wait. All right. Well, before we get to our quote, anything else?
No, go ahead with the quote. Gonna play an
Okay.
outro.
Yeah,
Here we go.
I'm here for it. That concludes our Zen talk. Enlightened ones, we hope you found that enlightening. We're keeping the new edition. Yeah, we're here for it.
Give us the quote.
Okay, here we go. Here's the quote. It sounds simple, telling people to work hard and never quit, but to really execute and demonstrate those principles takes discipline and faith. Those are the two factors that I believe separate the good from the great, the successes from the failures. Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Two times. Yep. Here we go. Repeat. Quote. It sounds simple telling people to work hard and to never quit, but to really execute and demonstrate those principles takes discipline and faith. Those are the two factors that I believe separate the good from the great, the successes from the failures. Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, that's a good one. That wraps up our pod pretty well.
Yes, it does. So, hey, everybody, find your discipline. Don't let it compete with your motivation. Check your expectations. And baby steps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and stay warm. Stay warm out there.
That's right. Well, that concludes episode 24 of Chokes and Consciousness. Yeah, getting it?
Yeah.
This is Deja.
This is Michaela.
And we will talk to y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.